Greta Gerwig's 2023 film Barbie, released on July 21st, is a feminist, coming-of-age comedy film starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. The film's main ideas are gender roles, feminism, and self-awareness, which are all explored all the way throughout the film. The film Barbie explores the expectations on women, questions the patriarchy, and also modern-day female experience as a whole. A way the ideas are explored in this film is through costume, copying Mattel's dolls one-to-one, being doctors and lawyers, and everything Mattel's Barbie tries to represent about feminism. The film follows the two main characters, Barbie, played by Margot Robbie, and Ken, played by Ryan Gosling, as they venture through Barbieland and eventually the real world to find out the cause of Barbie's existential crisis, where Ken discovers patriarchy, horses, and brings back his newfound manly things to Barbieland, that eventually causes more havoc that Barbie has to come back and fix. The intended audience for Barbie is a mixed group of people. On one hand, the movie is meant for kids. On the other hand, adults. The way this film appeals to children is the colourful sets, the fact that it is Barbie, the toy they play with, and the dancing and upbeat musical score. One way Barbie appeals to adults is the constant adult jokes such as beat you off.
If I wasn't severely injured, I would beat you off right now, Ken.
I'll beat you off with you any day, Ken.
All right, Ken, you're on. Let's beat you off.
Anyone who wants to beat him off has to beat me off first.
I will beat both of you off at the same time.
And even the gynecologist joke at the end of the film.
I'm here to see my gynecologist.
The reason Gerwig's Barbie appeals to both young and old is the reason why it's so successful, and has smashed box office records, netting $1.4 billion US, as both children and parents can watch the film and both laugh, and get different messages. The adults getting the feminist messages of spiritual connection between women of different generations, passing down their hopes and dreams into a better world for those who come after them, and other feminist and gender roles, and diverse body positivity messages, whilst the children get to enjoy the bright colours, non-stop dance moves, and the pretty costumes on screen. The set design in Barbie is extremely bright, pink, and artificial to begin with, before the introduction of black and darker colours we've never seen before in Barbieland, introduced by the Kens when they take over. This is done to show the sharp contrast between the newly introduced ideas of the Ken's patriarchy and toxic masculinity, which Barbie eventually has to fix, and the withstanding ideas of feminism and the ever-happy world that Barbie's lived in. Gerwig uses the term authentic artificiality to describe what she wanted Barbieland to look like. What is authentic artificiality? Gerwig's goal was to create a tangible plastic feeling, with the use of a vast array of cinematic techniques to convey this feeling in the film, such as the always sunny lighting, the entirety of Barbieland draped in shades of pink and colourful outlandish costumes, creating the perfect setting for what feels like a doll movie, but with real people. Gerwig avoided using any CGI for the Barbieland set, saying she wanted everything to be tactile because toys are something you touch. This meant she used no CGI or green screens. The film's production designer, Sarah Greenwood, selectively used shades of particular pink, from the bed sheets to the plain sky and even the road. Pink is everywhere, and it's for a reason too. There's no shock Mattel's 80-year-old Barbie is centered around the color pink. The color of pink makes the audience feel innocence, optimism, and feminism that the pre-Ken revolution Barbieland uses to its benefit. The costume choices in Barbie are very deliberate, especially in Barbieland with the bright blues for the Kens and the bright pinks for the Barbies, mimicking the color gender stereotypes the world has set. This is also done to match Mattel's color scheme with blue Kens and pink Barbies, to make the characters actually feel like dolls even though they were played by real people on screen, which is a new twist to the children's movie genre, if you can even call Barbie a children's movie. The costume designer for Barbie, Jacqueline Duran, says Barbie really is in sync with fashion, because that's how you play with her, is by dressing her. She also says clothes are her form of expression, which shows how exact Gerwig wanted the film to be to the real-life Barbie dolls. Barbie's advertisement is a major part of the film's pre-production. Barbie's marketing campaign cost $150 million US, which is more than the $145 million budget used to produce the movie in the first place. This is shown in the techniques used to advertise the film, such as social media, various cinema antics, purposeful leaks, and even the audience doing the advertisement for Warner Brothers by having viral trends of wearing pink to the showing of the movie Barbie, and the Barbenheimer trend being that you go watch both of the films in the same weekend. The social media marketing campaign was extensive, as headlines like Barbie made the world run out of pink, and the countless purposeful leaks of the film surfacing non-stop all over social media, which provided a crave for people to go watch the movie so they don't miss out. The cinematographer Rodrigo Prieto uses high-key lighting in Barbie, especially when inside Barbieland, in order to convey a happy, bright place to achieve Gerwig's authentic artificiality, where nothing can go wrong at all. That is, until something does go wrong, of course. Pareto uses a soft suns technique to illuminate the back of the characters' heads no matter what angle they're facing to accentuate the authentic artificiality that Gerwig desires. Pareto also says that one of our first decisions was that every day in Barbie Land has to be sunny, to make sure everything is perfect, and the use of soft suns to help with this as well. But of course problems arose with the soft suns technique, as Pareto explains. So anytime I turned on the backlight, the bounce on all the faces was pink, so all the actors looked magenta, which Pareto had to create a natural grey fill with tons of grey material to eliminate the light bouncing issue. High key lighting makes the audience feel happy and optimistic, which is reflected in the film, as the pre-Ken Revolution Barbie Land is a very happy and optimistic place. Then when the Kens take over, it turns into nighttime and less high key lighting, along with the introduction of black as previously mentioned, which all plays a part in the audience feeling a change as the film progresses. Barbie's casting directors Lucy Bevan and Alison Jones make clear-cut casting choices in Barbie by having the two lead roles, stereotypical Barbie and Ken, be socially accepted as attractive humans to imitate their doll counterparts, the two being Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. What this does to the younger audience is make a sense of resemblance to the dolls they're playing with, and for the older audience, they can recognize these established actors from previous films that makes the film appeal to the audience more. Throughout the film, Gerwig shows the expectations that are placed on women by both society and themselves. Gerwig explores this through the use of contrast between the Barbies' roles in Barbie Land and the women in real world by having most of the Barbies being lawyers, doctors, presidents, and many important roles, while in the real world we only see one female in a professional role, the doctor that has to deal with Ken. While back in Barbie Land, the Kens don't hold a single professional role, except the role of Beach, of course, while in the real world of the movie, most of the professional roles we see are men. For instance, every executive on the Mattel board and the banker man Ken talks to before the doctor. Gerwig also shows Ken idolizing men in the real world when he goes to the real world in Barbie by having him awestruck by big trucks and muscular men he sees, the patriarchy, horses, and stereotypical manly conventions and ideas that he ends up bringing back to Barbie Land and causing havoc. A film like Barbie could only be made nowadays because of the widespread acceptance of feminism and diverse casting roles. Say if Barbie was released in the 1950s, the cast would most likely be all white with only males in the leading roles because of the widespread anti-diversity and misrepresentation of minority groups in cinema at that time, whereas nowadays is far more accepting of minority groups and women in lead roles not only in film but in jobs too. The film closes out with the protagonist, Barbie, becoming a real human after a lengthy, deep and meaningful conversation with the creator of Barbie about what it really means to be a woman. This conversation alone touches all of the bases the movie was covering and provides a well-executed close to the film that gives the audience satisfaction and leaves a good aftertaste after the film is completed, which could affect reviews and reactions to the film in a positive way.